From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Tuesday, February the 13th, 2018. Israeli forces prevented a terror attack today in the West Bank. Border police officers and IDF military police stopped a Palestinian man who was trying to bring in an explosive to the Samaria military court. They were alerted when the man passed through a metal detector at the entrance to the court and found a pipe bomb packed with metal shards made from pieces of knives underneath the man's clothing. He was taken for questioning. The IDF weapon that was stolen during an attack yesterday on Israeli soldiers in the West Bank was turned in to Israeli forces by the Palestinians. As we reported to you, two IDF soldiers, a male and a female, mistakenly entered the Arab city of Jenin yesterday, where they came under attack by local Palestinian residents, their vehicle stoned and windshield and windows shattered, and an M16 stolen. Overnight last night, Palestinian security forces located the weapon and returned it to the IDF. It was also Palestinian security forces that tried to protect the soldiers during the attack and ultimately got them out of the area. Israel's Defense Minister Avigdor Lieberman praised those actions. He said today, thanks to the cooperation and security coordination, we saw the results. He said the Palestinian officers and the security coordination deserve a good word, adding that the Palestinians also understand that the security coordination is a mutual interest, which is why we work to preserve it. Ynet reports that Israel police will publish their recommendations tonight as to whether or not Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu will be indicted on charges of corruption. This follows a year-long investigation into whether the Prime Minister illegally received gifts. Netanyahu continually denies any wrongdoing. An Arab-Israeli man was one of two suspects arrested last month by Israel's security agency, the Shin Bet, for allegedly laundering funds and aiding terror group Hamas. The other suspect is from Turkey. According to the Shin Bet, the two were recruited in Turkey by a senior Hamas member who had been released from an Israeli prison as part of the Gilad Shalit prisoner exchange deal back in 2011. U.S. Undersecretary of State for Political Affairs Thomas Shannon Jr. and Director of Israel's Ministry of Foreign Affairs General Yuval Rotem co-chaired the first U.S.-Israel foreign policy dialogue in Washington yesterday. The U.S. State Department said the discussion addressed issues of mutual interest in the Middle East and beyond. Rotem wrote on social media that the dialogue will now become a permanent feature of annual consultations to be held in both Jerusalem and Washington. Veteran Jewish comedian Marty Allen has died. Allen was a staple of TV variety shows, game shows, and talk shows for decades. He was half of the duo Allen and Rossi with the late Steve Rossi. They were regulars on The Ed Sullivan Show, The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson, and many others. Comedian Gilbert Gottfried wrote on Twitter, "Farewell to one of the funniest people on stage and off." Allen, who was also a World War II veteran, died last night at the age of 95. A new device developed in Israel is helping to detect when someone is having or just had a heart attack. Sensa Heart was invented by founder and CEO of Novamed, Emil Katz. The pocket-sized device involves a pinprick to the finger to test the person's blood for evidence of a reaction between two types of proteins that would be produced in the event of a heart attack. At the moment, the device is only available in Israel and in Europe. It is seeking FDA approval here in the U.S. And turning to the Winter Games in South Korea, Jewish-American snowboarder Arielle Gold won a bronze medal. Gold finished third in the women's halfpipe in Pyeongchang. Fellow U.S. teammate Chloe Kim came in first. Well, the Backstreet Boys will be back in Israel this spring. The popular American boy band performed in Israel 2 years ago and will return to the stage at the Live Park in Rishon LeZion on April the 22nd.
Hi, Backstreet Boys. Shalom, Mazel Tov, everyone out there in Israel. We cannot wait to see you guys April 22nd in Live Park. We miss all of our fans out there in Israel. We cannot wait to get back here and put on the best show ever for you guys. Coming back. See you soon.
Taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Tuesday, February the 13th. At 8, Dr. Ruth Westheimer, Professor Atina Grossman of Cooper Union, and author Robert Beach reviewed the German-Jewish contribution to understanding human sexuality. That's from the Center for Jewish History in New York. At 9, Mark Golub sits down with pioneering feminist Letty Cotton Pogrebin on L'chaim. And at 10, Rabbi Lord Jonathan Sachs and NYU Professor Jonathan Haidt talk about moral dilemmas in the age of social media. And coming up right after this newscast tonight at 6:30, it's the ILTV debate program, Frenemies. And that's the JBS News Update for Tuesday, February the 13th, 2018. I'm Teisha Bader.